Welcome. You're listening to TALRadio powered by Touch a Life Foundation, and this is Foodology. I'm radio host Devansh, and on this show, I talk about the enormous world of a little word called food. Is coconut a fruit, a nut, or is it a seed? This is something that we've all pondered upon at some point in our lives. Botanically speaking, a coconut is a fibrous, one-seeded drupe, also known as a dry drupe. However, when using loose definitions, the coconut can be all three: a fruit, a nut, and a seed. The word coconut itself can also be confusing because of the word nut it has. A nut can be defined as a one-seeded fruit. With that loose definition, a coconut can also be a nut. However, a coconut is not a true nut. A true nut, such as acorn, do not open at maturity to release its seeds. The seeds are released when the fruit wall decays or are digested by an animal. Coconuts are classified as a fibrous one-seeded drupe. Well, to explain, a drupe is a fruit with a hard stony covering enclosing the seed, like a peach or an olive. This comes from the word drupa, meaning an overripe olive. A coconut and all the drupes have three layers: the exocarp, which is the outer layer, the mesocarp, which is the fleshy middle layer, and the endocarp, which is the hard, woody layer that surrounds the seed. The coconut is like a Swiss army knife of the plant kingdom. In one complete package, it provides a high-calorie food, potable water, fiber that can be spun into rope, and a hard shell that can be turned into charcoal. What's more, until it is needed for some other purpose, it serves as a hardy flotation device. The early Spanish explorers called it cocos or monkey face because the three indentations or the eyes on a hairy coconut resembled the head or a face of a monkey. As you may know, coconut is a very versatile fruit. It not only is an integral part of cuisines from all around the world, but also contains water that is consumed for its medicinal purposes. Coconut is considered as one of the 10 most useful trees in the world, and one among the 5 Deva Vrikshas, which means God's trees in India, providing food for millions, especially in the tropics. The coconut palm has rightly been titled as the tree of life because every part of the tree is extremely useful. Interestingly too, most of these parts are of commercial value. The fibrous root system of the coconut palm does not only support the tree. Chinese use it as a home remedy for some common ailments. They boil a few small pieces of the root in water and drink it as a brew. This brew is believed to ease certain skin diseases and itching on toes. Indonesians, meanwhile, drink boiled coconut roots to relieve fever, diarrhea, dysentery, and other digestive problems. In the ancient times, rural folks used pieces of coconut roots to clean their teeth. Aside from that, the humble roots also strengthened the gums. Did you know that coconut roots are also used as an ingredient in making certain types of beer? No, right? Well, now you know. In some regions, it is also common to see furniture made out of coconut palm roots. Since the supply of hardwood is getting scarce, the wood industry finds a good alternative source in coconut. The brown fiber that wraps around the fronds is called the ginit in central Philippines. With a bit of ingenuity, some locals make of beautiful novelty items from this part of the coconut tree. Ginit makes good material for fans, handbags, and a strap for wooden slippers. It is also used to make beautiful Christmas decor. A variety of wines and alcoholic beverages are also made from coconut sap all over the world. And then comes the infamous coconut fruit, whose uses and benefits are endless. How and where did it all begin? How did humankind discover the magical powers of this tree and the fruit that supports industries and life all around the world? The coconut fruit and palm are said to have their origin on South Asian soil. Research reveals that the palm is native to Southeast Asia. There are a number of studies that also claim that the fruit has origins in northwestern region of South America. Before human discovery of coconut palms, coconuts migrated themselves to other parts of the world with the help of ocean currents. Despite their months of travel, once ashore, the coconut seeds could still germinate. There are a number of fossil records being researched upon. Some of these fossils found in New Zealand are indicative of the fact that the palm thrived along the New Zealand coast as far back as 15 million years ago. In Asia, research reveals that fossils unearthed in Kerala, the land of coconuts, are much older. However, the fossils found in Bangladesh are recognized as the oldest. This fruit has very, very special mentions in ancient texts from all over the world, and some even dating back to the 1st century BC. Another well-known origin of coconut lies in Polynesia. The myth of Cena and the eel. This story had a young protagonist female named Cena who befriended an eel. Every night, Cena and the eel would spend time under the moonlight. The eel would tell Cena how he was once a prince. The eel's love for Cena grew every day. It wasn't only his love that grew. Over time, the eel's size also started increasing and to concerning extents. Fearing the eel, Cena ran away, escaping from him. But wherever Cena went, the eel would show up in the water bodies. Cena told about the eel to her relatives, and soon her cousin was sent to confront the eel. In a battle between the two, the eel's head was cut off. From his head grew the coconut tree as a reminder of his love for Cena. The tree that grew from his head would grow fruits with a refreshing nectar from which Cena could drink. The fruit would bear the eel's face with 2 eyes and a mouth as a reminder for Cena. In India, no religious offering is acceptable without a coconut. It is used in religious and social ceremonies, even in areas where it is not grown. Not an inch of the tree goes to waste, and all parts are put to some working use. Even though there is no reference of coconuts in the Vedas, there are several references that occur in post-Vedic works as the epics of Mahabharata, Ramayana, and the Buddhist stories of Jakarta. Many Chinese, Greek, and Mughal texts also have references to coconut. Researchers found 2 categories or types of coconuts that were grown in the ancient times: the Pacific ones and the Indian Ocean ones. These 2 types were later transported by colonists all over the world. The Portuguese and Arabs brought Indian coconuts to Africa. Indian coconuts were also introduced in the Caribbean and Brazil by the Europeans. During this colonial period, the Spanish brought coconuts to the Pacific coast of Mexico from the Philippines. This is why you find Pacific type of coconuts on the Pacific coast of Central America and Indian types on the Atlantic coast. The name coconut is believed to be awarded by the Spanish and Portuguese explorers. The name was derived from the Iberian El Coco, which referred to a mythical hairy monster. The kernel and hair around the fruit probably generated this connection. The suffix nut was added to refer to the seed-bearing palm, just like most other tree seeds are referred to in English. This name stuck, and today the whole world knows the tree as the coconut palm. The coconut fruit, depending on its maturity, is used as a food or as a beverage. There are basically 3 stages of maturity in a coconut, namely the drinker stage, the rubber meat stage, and the shaker stage. The first stage in the maturity of coconuts is the young or drinking coconuts. As the name suggests, these coconuts are young, about 6 to 8 months old, and are mainly used for drinking the nectar. Their size is comparatively smaller, and they come in all different colors ranging from green, white, yellow, and orange. The inner shell in these coconuts has not fully developed. When opened, these coconuts have the smallest amount of most delicate meat. This is called spoon meat because it can be scooped out with the help of a spoon. The next maturity stage in the life of a coconut is the sweet rubber meat stage. These coconuts are about 9 to 10 months old. They are slightly larger and heavier. The meat in them is hard and rubbery. The last stage of coconut maturity is the shaker stage. They are about 12 to 15 months old. There is a reason why these are called shakers. When you shake these coconuts, you can hear the water sloshing inside. These have a thick, hard to open husk. Smashing or using an axe or a husking tool are ideal for these coconuts. When the outer husk is removed, it reveals an inner shell, which is what we usually buy from markets. The brown, hairy coconut with 3 eyes. Inside is the thickest meat, which is rich in fats and can have varied culinary applications. The multiplicity and versatility and uses of coconut can be judged by an Indonesian saying, which goes like that: there are as many uses for the coconut as there are days in the year. Coconut water, coconut milk, coconut sugar, coconut oil, and coconut meat. The cavity of the immature nut is filled with the water, containing sugars. This water has been used as a refreshing drink since ancient times. In addition to being naturally sweet and hydrating, coconut water is loaded with several important nutrients, including minerals that many people don't get enough of. Coconut water is the liquid found in the center of a young green coconut. It helps nourish the fruit. Coconut water contains antioxidants which help fight free radicals in the body, along with lowering blood sugar levels. Coconut water has more than 10 times the amount of potassium of most sports drink. An 8 ounces glass of coconut water is packed with as much potassium as a banana. Most Americans fall short of their daily recommendation for potassium. Potassium helps keep fluid and electrolyte balance in the body, especially during exercise. The hormones that help plants grow, also known as cytokinins, are also found in coconut water. These compounds are believed to have anti-aging and cancer-fighting properties. However, to date, no major studies have shown that coconut water can ward off cancer. Drinking coconut water can contribute to your daily hydration needs, which promotes circulation and radiant skin. Certain varieties of coconut water that are fortified with vitamin C has a slew of antioxidant properties and naturally stimulates collagen production, which can help your skin firm and youthful looking. Coconut milk. Coconut milk is the white, milky substance extracted from the flesh of mature coconuts. It can benefit health in several ways, such as by stimulating weight loss and lowering cholesterol. As a result, coconut milk has gained extreme popularity amongst health-conscious people and especially vegans who very fondly use coconut milk. Coconut milk can be thick or thin. When making thick milk, manufacturers grate the flesh of mature coconuts, then squeeze it through cheesecloth to extract the liquid. Thick milk retains more fat than thin milk. Thin coconut milk comes from squeezed coconut flesh left inside the cheesecloth. Manufacturers mix it with warm water, then strain it through the cheesecloth a second time, resulting in a liquid which is much thinner. Coconut contains a lipid called lauric acid, and many researchers believe that lauric acid can support the immune system. Some findings indicate that lauric acid has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. Coconut milk suits best for curries, smoothies, soups, desserts, and cereals. Canned coconut milk usually has a thick, cream-like consistency. It is higher in fat, and people typically use it for baking or cooking. Coconut milk beverages tend to be thin and have a consistency closer to dairy milk. Store these drinks in the refrigerator and keep an eye out for expiration dates. Also, some brands add sugar, so you must check the labeling as well. Now, it is very important to note that coconut milk beverages contain lesser protein as compared to the dairy milk. Anyone making to switch should incorporate protein from other sources into their diet. The next important product we have is coconut oil. Coconut oil has grown in popularity in recent years, amid claims that it can do everything from supporting weight loss to slowing the progression of Alzheimer's disease. Many manufacturers have begun to use coconut oil in packaged products, and many people use it for cooking too. Many products such as fried foods, sweets, shampoos, coffee, smoothies contain coconut oil. Coconut oil is made by pressing fresh coconut meat or dried coconut meat called copra. Virgin coconut oil uses fresh meat while refined coconut oil typically uses copra. The virgin coconut oil is less processed than the refined version, and that preserves its sweet coconutty tropical flavor. The refined coconut oil goes through a more processing, which leads to a more neutral smell and flavor. Because it doesn't have that tropical taste, you can use refined coconut oil in main cooking and for a variety of recipes. The virgin coconut oil may have antioxidant properties. In a recent study, it appeared that coconut oil can reduce stress resulting from exercise and chronic cold. Researchers believe that virgin coconut oil can be useful in treating some kinds of depression. Some people apply coconut oil to their hair to increase shine and protect it from damage. It may penetrate the scalp better than mineral oils. Applying coconut extract to human skin may also enhance its protective barrier functions and have anti-inflammatory effects. Another coconut product getting a boom in popularity is coconut sugar. Coconut sugar comes from the coconut palm tree. People also refer to it as the coconut palm sugar or coconut flower nectar in its liquid form. Coconut sugar satisfies people's craving in a more guilt-free way. Coconut sugar comes from a natural source, the sap of the coconut palm. This sap circulates through the tree in a similar way to maple syrup. To harvest coconut sap, farmers cut the flower bud stem of the tree to allow the nectar to flow out. To make coconut flower nectar, they mix the sap with water and boil it down to a syrup. Producers make granulated coconut sugar by leaving the nectar to dry and crystallize. They then break these dried chunks apart to create the granules that most people recognize. Coconut sugar has a similar look and feel to unprocessed raw sugar, but it may have more natural vitamins such as light or dark granules or fluctuations in granule size. Many people confuse coconut sugar with palm sugar. While they have the similar production process, palm sugar comes from a different tree. Coconut sugar contains high level of fructose. This is because sucrose is made up of half fructose. Fructose is thought of as a low glycemic index food, which means that eating it would not give a spike in the blood glucose levels. However, this does not make fructose a better sugar. Consuming too much fructose, particularly from sugar-sweetened drinks, may still put a person at risk for health disorders, including diabetes and obesity. Coconut sugar is good on its own, but it is not the miraculous alternative to sugar. Moderation is the key. According to an Arab proverb, if humans were to appear on earth with no more than a coconut palm, they could live quite happily and contented for all eternity. Coconuts originated in Southeast Asia. The greater number of coconut types in this region with the numerous local names, uses and unique associations make this region the center of diversity and also the assumed center of origin. Coconuts have played a vital role in boosting the economies of countries all over the world. The coconut plant seemed to be a God-given gift in the shape of a long-term distillation plant that stands in the sun, like a hermit, and distills salt water from its roots to remove salts and impart its own sweetness to water, accumulated drop by drop in the hard case. With extravagant application in times of emergency, it will remain the kalpavriksha or the tree of life, as was termed by the sages. Thank you so much for sticking around on this episode of Foodology.